Hey guys, welcome again to this week's episode of my crypto update. Today I'll talk real quick about Bitcoin, and we'll just look into the action, which really is following all expectations we've had over many weeks now. Also, I'm going to touch on altcoins here. I just got done with my 1 hour weekly webinar with subscribers, and we talked about altcoins, the condition of the charts that we have. And really, at least my conclusion is stay long in Bitcoin or keep your positions mostly in Bitcoin right now. And we'll look into that. Finally, just housekeeping. I've got two speaking engagements over the next couple weeks. If you're going to Blockchain Week, Vegas Blockchain Week, I will be there for Crypto IQ's sponsored trading session, and there hasn't been decided whether I'm giving a talk or part of a panel, but I'll be there if you're there. I'd love to meet you. And then again, I'll be doing another money show, which I do 2 to 3 times a year, and I usually show up at the Vegas events, and that will be coming the middle of November. So have a look if you're interested. Money show is usually free, so it's easy to get into my talks. All right, so let's jump into Bitcoin here. If you look at the chart, really not much to say. I've been expecting this lower 7,000s for a couple weeks now. Of course, be looking at this area actually for many months, but we have a microfractal looking lower into that area. It is potential that this is very choppy coming down. It is potential we go right back up into that 4 resistance. And if you recall, over the last few videos, 9,000 is ultimate resistance, but I certainly prefer, especially with this, if you look at this red trend line that has 3 points hits, and we're now, we moved below it, but back tested a little bit and a little bit above it. Once that starts to really go, I really prefer that we follow through and see our lower targets. So really not much, no surprises there. I've been continue to take short scalps on this, but once we hit sort of sub 7,600, there's going to be no shorting at all. I mean, I cut that back, and even on Twitter I said I stopped, but I found a couple more setups in this that actually were profitable. But that all stops below 7,600 because there just really isn't any risk to reward left in the short side, provided this is the count. And I just want to remind again, I say this every week, once we hit those targets, it really matters that we form an impulse, a very strong move off that low, but more than that, a 5-wave structure. So I'll be looking for that and hopefully come back into video. But again, until you see that, just take nibbles. Don't get too aggressive until we have a real strong reversal pattern. Because right now, ultimately, being long is trading against the trend because we've been down since June, right? So that's where we're at, and really no change, no surprise. Now let's talk real quick about altcoins. If you look across altcoins, I've been bullish on a few because they have long-term potential charts, long-term potential uptrends in fractal. However, most coins have underperformed Bitcoin over the last year. Let's look at an example. So I want to show the NEO USD chart, and if you look at this, we had a really strong 5-wave pattern into 2017 and 2018 top. We've come down in a very, it looks corrective, although I can call this 5 waves. I'm counting this as WXY, which sometimes look like 5 waves, and now we have potential leading diagonal in 19. Now we're cutting really close to support here. As long as we hold, I see the next move up to this 110 level. But the real problem here is that if we look at NEO and Bitcoin, which also has 5 waves incidentally, we really have a strong downtrend and no sign of let up. In fact, I have the main support area below us at 5 sats down to 2. So, and if you look at structure in this recent action, I see no sign of a bottom whatsoever. In fact, if I count this as 5 waves, we're really in the middle of a third here. And so it may be some time before we see NEO outperform Bitcoin if, and I say if, it does at all. So you have to ask yourself whether you want to be long NEO or long Bitcoin, just using this as an example. And of course, the answer would be Bitcoin. You may go for diversification, but I advise if you are going for diversification that you try to find charts that have the chance, at least, of a strong move against Bitcoin. So at least potentially you'd be outperforming. Personally, I will concentrate and just manage tight stops in one chart any day. That's my way of trading. If you want a few alts, I mean, I'm not going to go into every chart here today, but if you want the altcoins that I see potentially outperforming Bitcoin, they're very limited. Right now I can see Ether turning against Bitcoin. Of course, Ether has always outperformed Bitcoin during bull market rallies. The problem I have with Ether, we'll take a look at it, but the problem I have with the long-term chart on Ether Bitcoin is that it's really an oscillating chart and really has not got a strong trend, even though we get those strong moves during the bull market. We look at this and we've got three-wave rallies all the way through, and from its entire history, and nothing has held an impulse according to Elliott wave standards. So it's an oscillating chart, but it is trying to turn here against it locally. You can see me trying to form an account with the potential that it has bottomed. EOS is another one, of course. Everyone knows that I've been bullish on EOS if, and again, if it outperforms Bitcoin, and I've got a subtle bottom pattern trying to form. Litecoin is one that folks have been very bullish on this year, but look at this. We have a very strong downtrend in play here. So really nothing, not much out there strong. BNB is another one, actually. So BNB, Ether, and EOS are three charts that I'm tracking for potential upside against Bitcoin. But in my view, trading something because you like the project or like the team or like the problem they're trying to solve is a waste of money if you can just buy Bitcoin. That's at least my take, and that's the way that I am trading. And certainly I made decent money off alts in 2017, but you could have bought anything in 2017, and really those days are over. So that's my thinking on the so-called alt world this year in 2019. It's really let's see what it'll bring, but I'm not tied to it in terms of trading. It really isn't necessary. All right, guys. So that's what I'm thinking this week. We'll see what happens at 7,000, 7,400 in that zone for Bitcoin, and see if we get a bottom and be on our way. So talk to you guys soon. Bye.